Hi, welcome to the Scott County Public Library Make It program. In keeping with the theme of the summer reading this year, which is Tales and Tales, I'm going to show you how to make 2 effective but inexpensive bird feeders. Now, I have been noticing some goldfinches in my yard, and I'm hoping to get them to come back. So the first thing I'm going to show you how to make is a goldfinch stocking feeder. The supplies you're going to need for that are an old used knee-high, or you can cut off the leg of a pantyhose. You're going to need an old pickle jar lid, and the size doesn't matter. You're going to need a skewer. I just happen to have a package of skewers because I have everything. You're going to need a large yogurt container, and you're going to need what's called thistle seed or Niger seed. And you can get it, it's very small, but you can get it at any place that sells bird seed. And that's what goldfinches like in particular. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your lid and you are going to place it at the bottom of your knee-high. Once you've done that, you're going to stick it at the bottom of your yogurt container, and you're going to open up the leg, and that just makes it easier to get the seed in without spilling it all over the place. So you're going to take your Niger seed, and you're going to fill it up in your knee-high. And as you're doing this, you'll need to kind of push it down to make sure it's going all the way down in there. And the seed is a little staticky and it is a little messy, so you want to make sure you have a place that it's not going to matter, seeds go flying everywhere. And usually I fill this up about 4 or 5 inches. So once you've got it as full as you want it, you're going to pick it up, shake it to the bottom, and then you're going to put a knot in it. And because this is stretchy, it'll give you plenty of stocking left to hang it where you're going to hang it. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your skewer and you are going to push it down very close to the lid. And you're going to push it all the way through, and that is going to give your goldfinch a little perch to sit on while they're eating their feed. Now, sometimes it's going to take them a while to find it in your yard, so you have to be patient. It may take a couple weeks, but once they find it, then they'll be calling all their goldfinch friends, so you should have pretty good success with that. And that is how you make the inexpensive, easy goldfinch stock feeder. Okay, so the next feeder we're going to be making is just a simple little plate bird feeder. So the first thing you're going to need is a paper plate holder. I just happen to have a bunch of these. They've been sitting in the closet doing nothing. You're going to need a paper plate. You are going to need a hole punch. You're going to need some sort of thread or string. I'm using jute just because it works pretty good in the elements. You're going to need some peanut butter. You're going to need bird seed. We just got the mixed bird seed, and we're going to discuss that a little bit later. And for optional, there's some Cheerios. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to punch a hole, 3 holes, evenly spaced, in your paper plate. And the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cut 3 pieces of string. They're the same length, and it doesn't really matter however long you want to make it, and if it's too much string, you can go back and cut it later. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to want to make a hole in your wicker to line up with your paper plate. And some of these wicker holders, there's gaps, and some there's not. So if there's not, you can just take your scissors and kind of make a wedge. Put your string down through it. And then you're going to run your other end of your string through the hole in the paper plate. And you're going to do that for all 3 pieces of string. And then you're going to tie it off. Like I said, you'll do that, all 3 holes will have that. So then once you've done that, you're going to take your Cheerios, and this is the part the kids like. and you're going to string them on your string. And it doesn't matter how many you put on there. It's just kind of a special treat for the birds along with the seed you're going to give them. And you do that for all 3 strings. So you're going to end up with something like this. Now once you got this far, and this is the way I like to do this, the churros will pretty much stick to the jute string, so you don't have to worry about them slipping off. You're going to take your peanut butter, and you're going to spread a layer of peanut butter on your plate. And the birds like peanut butter as well, so that's another little added treat for them. You want to cover most of the, at least the inside of the plate. And this, not only will the birds like it, it will help the seeds from blowing all over the place when you have this actually hung outside. So, once you've got that done, you're going to take your bird seed, and like I said, this is a seed mix, and you're going to pour some on your plate, shake it to kind of evenly distribute it, and then you're going to want to kind of push it down. And that's going to push the seed into the peanut butter and help it stick better. So once you get your seeds down, you're going to take your string, and you're going to have to determine how long you want your string to be, and kind of think about where you want to hang it. You're going to knot it. And when I put mine out, I probably will make a slip knot, but you know, if you want to make a hook or whatever, you can do that as well. And that's how your bird feeder is going to look when you're done. Okay, so there's certain birds that are in Kentucky and some that are just passing through. And depending on what kind of birds you want to attract is going to be determined by what they like to eat. So these are some of the more common birds in Kentucky: goldfinch, cardinal, Kentucky warbler, woodpecker, eastern bluebird. These are birds that will actually eat seed. And so depending on what kind of bird you're trying to attract, that's the kind of seed that you want to buy if you go to purchase it. There's also some birds who are in this area, but they don't necessarily like seed as food. So the Baltimore oriole, they like fruit, nectar, and insects. Robins, of course, like insects and worms and berries. And of course, hummingbirds like insect and nectar. Another thing you have to consider, even if you get the right kind of food, some birds, like people, are particular about their habitat and their housing. So like bluebirds like bluebird houses. So as you're exploring what kind of birds you want to attract, you'll need to take all that into consideration. Now here at the library, we do have many books about those types of subjects. So we have this book that shows how to attract birds and what kind of habitat they like. We have this one which shows the different feeds and how to make your own bird feeders for the different types of birds. And then this is one of my favorites. It's songbirds, and in the back, it's also got a CD that's got the bird sounds on it. So if you're trying to do bird identification, this is a great one to have. So, and this is just a few of the books we have. We have a whole section on birds, birding, and building feeders and habitat and all that. So if you're interested in that, just come on into the library. And if you are interested in more events that are happening for our summer reading program, check us out on www.scottpublib.org, or you can also find us on Facebook. And I hope you enjoyed today's program.